Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Delicious things to eat.
The popcorn can't be beat. The sparkling drinks are just dandy. The chocolate bars and the candy. So let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Hey, it's Duke.
And this is Corey.
Welcome back to another episode of Drive-In Review. What are we going to do today, Sea-Dog?
We're going to go back a little bit and do some spoof movies.
Okay,
We're going to do a Naked Gun Trilogy and the Hot Shots. So, yeah, I think it's a good combination with the two.
Yeah.
So,
movie news?
Movie news, yes. That's where I was getting at. So, I seen Civil War.
Yeah.
And it was okay. It was kind of weird. I gave it, I think, 6.5 out of 10, I believe. 7, something like that.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, it's a good movie. Definitely hits home, and especially in these days and stuff. So I definitely recommend people, seeing it at least once.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
Yeah, I don't want to get too much into it because it's all fake news, I guess you could say.
Yeah. Let's move on.
Right. We did lose a legend.
Yep.
So that kind of hurt a little bit.
James Earl Jones.
Yes. He was 93.
Was he? No, I thought he was in his 80s.
No.
He was 93?
He was 93.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and we have a little tribute that we'll play later on that. But that's really all I got for movie news this week.
Okay.
Yeah. It's kind of sad. I was depressed by losing him, so I didn't really dwell into it.
You didn't
much.
Do anything. You didn't go to work. You didn't.
Right. Yeah. I just sat home and mourned. Like no.
Your wife put you in a diaper. You just laid there.
Yeah. I mean, I felt like America's dad just died.
Yeah. Sure.
So, but no, life goes on.
Yeah.
So, but all right. So yeah, we're gonna get started with the Naked Gun.
Okay.
In this city, there's crime on every street. But one man has seen enough. He's Lieutenant Frank Drebin.
Whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat.
He's a good cop who's having a bad day. His best friend...
Oh, everyone should have a friend like you.
...is in a coma.
As soon as Nordberg is better, he's welcome back at Police Squad. But I wouldn't wait until the last minute to fill out those organ donor cards.
His girlfriend asked him to look her up.
Nice beaver.
Thank you. I just had it stuffed.
Let me help you with that.
And his city is in the hands of a master criminal with a sinister plan.
I must kill the Queen.
How can any police story contain this much action? This much romance?
I like cops.
Or this much baseball? Starring Leslie Nielsen, a cop who's always on the alert. Mikhail Gorbachev.
I knew it.
Queen Elizabeth, everyone's favorite queen. Priscilla Presley, a woman who really cooks.
How hot and wet do you like it?
Ricardo Montalban.
Frank.
You're both right.
George Kennedy, the partner with an appetite for danger. O.J. Simpson, as you've never seen him before. And Reggie Jackson in his first dramatic role. In a movie so big, it had to be filmed in color. The Naked Gun, from the files of Police Squad.
Coming this Christmas to a theater near you. See you then.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the Naked Gun files from the files of Police Squad is based off the 1982 TV show Police Squad, created by Jim Abrahams, Jerry Zucker, and his brother David Zucker. It only lasted for 6 episodes. It aired on ABC. And the movie was released December 2nd, 1988 by Paramount. It had a budget of $12 million. You think it flopped?
No.
It did not. It made $78.7 million. So it did quite well.
Right.
IMDb rated this particular film 7.6 out of 10. Letterboxd gave it a 3.8 out of 5. And Rotten Tomatoes gave it 86% with an 84% audience approval rating.
All right. Nice.
Well, it's a classic. This is
yeah.
a classic. I rated it easily an 8 out of 10. Slates.
Same here, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 8 out of 10 all the way.
The movie was filmed on location in L.A., around L.A. and San Diego, between February and April of 1988. It was directed by David Zucker, who has directed such movies as Airplane, Top Secret, Ruthless People, Scary Movie 3, 4, and 5, and Basketball.
Nice.
All very funny films, except for maybe the Scary Movie movies.
Yeah, it was
ridiculous. All right. It was produced by Robert K. Weiss, who is known for producings.
Producings? All right.
Tommy Boy, Nothing But Trouble, Blues Brothers, Dragnet with Tom Hanks, and Ray.
All good ones.
Dan Aykroyd. Kentucky Fried Movie, and he also produced some Weird Al movies, or not movies, videos.
I'll say I thought he only did
one movie. He also produced Weird Al videos, which might explain why Weird Al is in every single one of these films. The Naked Gun was written by Jim Abrahams, Jerry Zucker, David Zucker, and Pat Proft, which we might be talking about here shortly when you start talking about Hot Shots.
Yep. That's why I said this is a good combination, because they're really
they all kind of work together.
Yeah.
Yeah. The score for this film was done by Ira Newborn. And it's surprising that we don't hear that name very often, because listen to the movies that he's done the score for.
All right.
He's done Ace Ventura, Blues Brothers, High School High, Mallrats, Brain Donors, Short Time, Uncle Buck, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Weird Science, 16 Candles, Dragnet, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. The list goes on.
And who is this again?
Ira Newborn.
Okay.
Yep.
I have another one on my side that's same movie. So yeah, this is ironic, but cool.
The movie stars Leslie Nielsen, Priscilla Presley, O.J. Simpson, Ricardo Montalban, George Kennedy, Weird Al, Reggie Jackson, and Mark Holton makes a cameo.
I can't look at Ricardo Montalban without saying, "Look, boss, is he playing?"
Ricardo Montalban.
Welcome to Fantasy Island.
But we know Mark Holton from Teen Wolf, Pee-wee's Big Adventure, Leprechaun.
Yep.
So, and I watched this movie with my son, who's 14, for the first time. He really enjoyed it. He gave it 8 out of 10 slates. And he was surprised to see Mark Holton pop up. He looked at me and was like, "Hey." So it's pretty cool.
And that's good, because that means these older movies are still holding up.
Yeah.
Even with the newer generations.
Yep. So when Leslie Nielsen died in 2010, ESP published an obituary for Enrico Palazzo. And if you've seen this movie, he takes over. He's trying to get close to whomever is trying to kill the queen at the ball game. So he takes over for a fictional character, Enrico Palazzo, who's this famous opera star, and ties him up in the dressing room and goes out and sings the national anthem as Enrico Palazzo. So, as a joke, when Nielsen died, ESP published an obituary for Enrico Palazzo.
That's
I
cool.
thought that was a fun little fact. Also, Ricardo Montalban was cast in this role due to his role as Khan in Star Trek.
Right, that was
Wrath of
him.
Khan.
Yeah, he was Khan.
Yeah,
almost forgot about
Ricardo
that.
Montalban.
It's just such a fun name to say.
Yeah, it is. So this was one of the last major Hollywood films to include a mono soundtrack. I had no idea that was a thing.
Yeah.
And so late in the day to be finally switching over to stereo, that's kind of weird. I don't know. So when Queen Elizabeth died in 2022, Reggie Jackson tweeted, "Now we all know I was innocent."
That's classic. That's good.
So I'm not going to give any more away if you haven't seen it, but yeah, Reggie Jackson does Jackson.
There you go again.
Yeah, he makes an appearance in this movie, and once you see the movie, you'll understand the tweet. Let's see, the baseball stadium scenes were the first scenes to be shot.
Okay.
Because the baseball season was, I guess, about to start, so they had to get those out of the way before the rest of the scenes. And finally, what I have for a fun fact is that Bo Derek was the fourth choice for the role of Jane Spencer, and Jane Spencer was played by Priscilla Presley.
Wow.
Bo Derek.
All right.
And that's all I have for The Naked Gun.
All righty.
Files.
The files of Police
Files
Squad.
of the Police. From the Files of Police Squad.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There you go. Get it right.
Pay the price.
All right. Well, let's move on to Naked Gun 2.
Okay.
Or do you want to go back and forth?
No, you can go.
Just go?
Just
Which one?
This is Naked Gun 2.5, The
Okay.
Smell of Fear.
Washington, D.C., where violence explodes every day. But America's toughest cop is pounding a new beat.
Lieutenant Drebin.
The Police Squad is back.
Is this some kind of bust?
Very impressive, yes.
They're ready for action.
How you doing, Trooper?
Ready for love.
I'm lonely, I'm lost, I need someone to hold, to love.
Frank, over here.
And ready for seconds. In the movie that proves you can lead a cop to water, but you can't make him think.
The water's over there, Frank.
Starring Leslie Nielsen.
I don't recall seeing your name on the guest list. Nothing to be embarrassed about. I sometimes go by my maiden name.
If it's not dangerous, he's not interested. Priscilla Presley as the irrepressible Jane. Robert Goulet as Quentin Habsburg.
Goulet!
Definitely Habsburg. Oh, sure. Maybe not as much as jumping on a bicycle with a seat missing, but it hurts.
George Kennedy as Captain Ed Hocken.
Congratulations. I understand that Edna's pregnant again.
Yes, and if I catch the guy who did it. And O.J. Simpson as Nordberg. Step on it. If you only see one movie this year, you ought to get out more often. The Naked Gun 2.5. The Smell of Fear.
Give me the strongest thing you got.
This is a sequel so big, they had to add another half.
So, The Naked Gun 2.5, The Smell of Fear. So in the original show, O.J. Simpson's character, Nordberg, his name was Norberg.
Okay.
In the original show, and it wasn't O.J. Simpson. I don't recall who played the
Yeah, I don't
character.
remember. I've only seen a few of the actual TV shows.
I've seen part of one, maybe. I have them, but
Yeah.
I haven't sat down and watched them. So The Naked Gun 2.5, The Smell of Fear, was released the day after my 11th birthday, June 28th, 1991, by Paramount. Had a budget of $23 million. Think it flopped?
No.
Did not. It made almost $87 million.
Nice.
So it did better than the original.
Than the first one, yeah.
And definitely better than the third one.
Right.
IMDb rated this as 6.9 out of 10. Letterboxd gave it a 3.4 out of 5. Rotten Tomatoes gave it an 58% with a 65% audience approval rating. I gave it a 7.5 out of 10. It's been a while since I've seen it.
I'm gonna go with 8 out of 10 again. Yeah.
It's just as good.
Just
almost
as good, yeah.
As good as the original. And I saw this in its original theatrical run.
Mm-hmm.
Went to the theater with my mom and saw it. So I've always had an affinity for this movie.
Right.
But I have seen the original more than all the other Naked Gun films.
Yeah. I think I've seen 2.5 more than the other two.
Mm-hmm.
It seems to be on TV a lot more.
Okay.
So, but definitely, what catches my eye with these Naked Gun movies is they follow, and I think it was on Police Squad too, the opening intros where they're just in the car and all you see is the light, the siren, and they're just running into stuff. That is hilarious. I love it.
As a segue to that, in this one you see at the beginning of the movie with the siren going through the city or whatever, and then it stops and Zsa Zsa Gabor's there and she slaps the siren.
Yep.
That's from like 1989. I think she was stopped by a police officer and she smacked the cop.
Yep.
And that's what that's from.
Okay.
So this film was shot on location in and around L.A. From November 1990 to March 91. It was directed by David Zucker again, produced by Robert K. Weiss, written by David Zucker and Pat Proft, and the score was done by Ira Newborn. Movie stars Leslie Nielsen, Priscilla Presley, O.J. Simpson, George Kennedy, Robert Goulet, Richard Griffiths, and Weird Al.
All right.
And I found this to be a really interesting fact, and I don't have a whole lot of facts for this film, maybe just a couple. Mm-hmm. But back in 1974, when Elvis Presley shot his television, that's kind of a infamous event in history, right?
Right.
Well, the person that was on TV at that time, the reason why he shot his television was because Robert Goulet was on TV.
Nice. I actually have that on video recording, VHS.
What?
The 1974 concert that he did.
Oh, this
concert? On the television, yeah.
Well, he was at home. He was just chilling at home watching TV, and Robert Goulet pops up.
What was the one?
Shot his television.
The big
set.
appearance where he's like, it was like his last show or something, where he was like sweating and everything on the piano and everything. And
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you know which one I'm talking about. Yeah,
I do.
But anyways, yeah.
But what's fun about that is that obviously Robert Goulet is in this movie, and he is Priscilla Presley's boyfriend.
Right.
So I thought that was interesting. The only other thing that I have about this movie is that the pottery wheel scene, which was a spoof of
Ghost.
1990s Ghost.
Right.
Well, Ghost was directed by Jerry Zucker, David Zucker's brother, who also helped write this movie or created this movie.
So David is making fun of his brother.
Yeah. Basically. And that's all I have for Naked Gun, The Naked Gun 2.5, The Smell of Fear.
The Naked Gun. Gotta add that the. Mm-hmm. So, all right, well, let's move on to the last one.
Naked Gun 33 1/3, The Final Insult.
when law-abiding citizens are forced to live in fear, we look for protection to one man. Lieutenant Frank Drebin is back. This time, he's going undercover in the big house.
Where's your prison number?
It's unlisted.
And playing the deadliest game of all.
That damn blue! Don't get your hand out of my pocket!
But Police Squad desperately needs him back because a mad bomber is about to blow up Hollywood's biggest bash. And if anyone can stop him, so can Frank.
Hold on.
Sergeant Frank Drebin, Detective Lieutenant Police Squad.
Yeah, and I'm Robert De Niro.
Mr. De Niro, we've got to get inside.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to present the...
We're here to prevent a disaster.
You're too late for that.
There's the guy!
Starring Leslie Nielsen as Lieutenant Frank Drebin. Priscilla Presley as Jane. Anna Nicole Smith as Tanya. Fred Ward as Rocco.
Please, and nobody gets hurt. Well, from now on.
Anna Nicole Smith as Tanya. George Kennedy as Ed. O.J. Simpson as Nordberg. And introducing Anna Nicole Smith as Tanya.
Have you seen my pigeon?
Naked Gun 33 and a third. The Final Insult. The movie that hits crime where it hurts. This picture contains mostly all new jokes. May play slightly funnier east of the Rockies.
All right. So, Naked Gun, 33 and a third, the final insult. You notice that I didn't say the.
Right.
It's actually just called Naked Gun, 33 and a third.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, the 33 and a third, that's a nod to album RPMs, or rotations per minute.
Okay.
The original title was actually supposed to be called Naked Gun 33 and a third, just for the record. But they didn't think that a lot of people would get the joke, so
Right.
they changed it to The Final Insult.
I did not know that, so that's kind of interesting.
Yep. So the movie was released March 18th, 1994 by Paramount. Had a budget of $30 million, which was more than the last two.
Right.
Do you think it flopped?
No.
It made $51 million.
Okay.
And now
more.
when I say the budget, I'm including worldwide gross. This is always worldwide gross.
Right.
And when I say released, it's usually going to be when it was released in the U.S. I mean, I could make out a whole list of when they were released in Italy or
But
Japan,
we don't even know that.
But we do have international listeners, so.
Yes, we do.
But at this point, that's what I do. That's
5 other countries, actually.
Yeah.
Now, so.
So the U.S. release date was May 18th, 94.
Yeah.
IMDb rated this a 6.5 out of 10. Letterboxd gave it a 3.2 out of 5. Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 58% with a 53% audience approval rating. I gave it a 6.5 out of 10, but then again, I haven't seen this in so long, I don't even remember the movie.
I brought this one down to a 7.
7?
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, it's not my favorite. It's still a good one. They're all 3 good, but it just, 2.5 was my favorite one out of all of them.
Okay.
So.
So this, again, was shot on location in Los Angeles between August and November of 1993. Was not directed by David at this point, was Peter Siegel.
Okay.
Who is known for directing 50 First Dates, The Longest Yard remake with Adam Sandler, Tommy Boy, Get Smart, and Anger Management.
Okay.
It was produced by Robert K. Weiss and David Zucker, written by David Zucker, Pat Proft, and Robert Locash. Score, again, was done by Ira Newborn. And this film stars Leslie Nielsen, Priscilla Presley, O.J. Simpson, George Kennedy, Anna Nicole Smith, Fred Ward, and Weird Al. And also a cameo from James Earl Jones.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that was. He was in that. I forgot. Wow. All right. Good timing on that. Well, bad timing, I guess. Yeah. Cool.
Just slapped you with that.
Right.
So, let's see. What do I have? So in the scene where there's a prison fight, they used real biker gangs.
Oh, wow.
In that scene. And actually it turns out that 4 of the gangs were rival gangs.
Oh.
Yeah, nothing happened, but
okay.
I thought that was, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That could have been bad.
Yeah. So, as I said, this was released in March, and so that was 3 months before the white Bronco chase, which caused O.J. Simpson to be arrested, and then his subsequent trial.
Twile?
The
twile.
Yeah, the following year, he had a twile. So, yeah, I think it was actually exactly 3 months. Wasn't it June 18th, 94?
I think so.
Let me look.
Yeah, I believe so.
The white Bronco chase in 94. Do you remember watching that on TV?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I was actually in school, and they had it on RTV.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
June 17th.
Okay.
Why were you in school in June? That's a weird...
Oh, wait a minute. No, I wasn't in school. Wait a minute. No, yeah, I was here at home. That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get school and home.
Unless it was summer school. I could have been in summer school.
That's very possible.
Because, we watched a lot of TV in summer school. Because, you don't learn anything hardly.
So June 17th, 94. It was almost exactly 3 months after the release of this movie that the white Bronco chase
Yeah, and that's
happened.
when everything went downhill for him.
Yeah. I mean, this was his last movie.
Yeah.
So the cabin that was used in this film was the same cabin that they used in The Great Outdoors. The last little fun fact I have for this movie, so we all know River Phoenix. He passed away Halloween 1993. And the filming of this movie, or the shooting wrapped in November of 93. But they show stock footage of previous Academy Awards in this movie, and they show River Phoenix getting out of a white limousine in one of those shots.
Okay.
So, yeah, that would have been, I think, just a week or two after he passed shooting.
Wow.
Yeah. So
another good, a bad loss that we had was him. I think he would have done really well.
Yeah.
And everything. And, O.J. Simpson, we lost him this year, too. I guess we can mention that.
Yeah.
Honorable mention.
Yeah.
So, but
Honorable?
Well, unhonorable, I guess.
Dishonorable mention.
Depending on who you talk to, I guess.
Yeah.
He was a sports legend. His background.
Who did he play for?
The Raiders.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, he played for the Raiders for a long time, and then
60s and 70s.
Yeah, and then retired, and then got into acting.
Yeah.
And stuff. And I think the Naked Gun was his only acting.
No, he was in The Towering Inferno.
That's right, he was. Yeah. So he's done a few things, but yeah. And despite recent events or past events or anything like that, we never dishonor someone on the movies and the film that they've done in the past
sure.
and everything because of it, because that's just we just don't judge that away.
Yeah.
So yeah, he was still a good actor in these movies, and I think he should be remembered for this, not what happened after.
Right.
So yeah, that's where I was getting at.
Sure. No, I get what you're saying. Eventually, we'll talk about Tom Cruise too.
Yeah. Eventually.
Let's liken Tom Cruise to O.J. Simpson.
So yeah, all right. So do you have any more fun facts?
I don't.
Good? No?
No, sir.
All right. Well, let's take a minute, and we have a little tribute for James Earl Jones, and then we'll get into Hot Shots.
Do it.
All right.
Do it, fucker.
Look at the stars. The great kings of the past look down on us from those stars. So whenever you feel alone, just remember that those kings will always be there to guide you. And so will I.
This is indeed a disturbing universe. Why? Z.
That age-old question, what would happen if you gave a yo-yo to a flock of flamingos? Who wrote this?
Tell you what. You guys come by here once a week and talk baseball with me. We'll call it an even trade.
A man has no greater purpose in life than to serve his fellow man. I've tried to instill that message into all my children. It may help you too someday when you're back way out wherever.
The force is strong with this one. This is a time for giving, Mikey, not giving up. I mean, just because you can't see something with your eyes or hear it with your ears doesn't mean it's not real. Some things exist in here.
In your heart?
Sure. If you can believe in Santa in your heart, then he is real. And so is everything he stands for.
I'll say this only once. A team is not a team if you don't give a damn about one another. He gave me my money from payday because he liked me. He gave me because he owed me. Now, I didn't give you everything I had to give you. I gave you your life. Your mama and me worked it out between us. And lacking your black ass was not a part of the bargain, and don't you try to go through life worried if someone like you or not. You best make sure that they are doing right by you.
A king's time as ruler rises and falls like the sun. One day, Simba, the sun will set on my time here and will rise with you as the new king. Remember who you are.
Rest in peace, James Earl Jones.
Yes. Thank you for your work.
Your
Mr.
voice.
Jones. You'll be missed.
Yes, he will.
Dry your eyes, Sea Dog.
I know, right? It's allergies, man. So, all right. Let's move on to Hot Shots.
Somewhere in the Mediterranean, on this naval aircraft carrier, these men have been selected to write a page in military history. They are the best the Navy and Air Force have to offer. They've been brought together to form an elite squad of fighter pilots. Their mission, one of national security and international concern. These are the fearless pilots.
Seems no matter what I do, I end up hurting someone.
The men who command them. Pudding?
No, thank you, sir.
I'll do my best.
And the women who love them. Charlie Sheen.
Never wanted to be a horse so much in my life.
Lloyd Bridges. Call them the best of the best. Call them Eddie. Hot Shots. The mother of all movies.
Oh, God, I love this country.
Hot Shots.
All right. Hot Shots is a parody of Top Gun from 1986. in which a talented but unstable fighter pilot must overcome the ghosts of his father and save a mission sabotaged and by greedy weapons manufacturers. It stars Charlie Sheen, Carrie Ellis, Valeria Golino, I think I'm saying that right, Lloyd Bridges, Kevin Dunn, and John Cryer.
John Cryer.
And this was released July 31st, 1991. It was directed by Jim Abrahams, and which directed, like we said before, Airplane, Ruthless People, Big Business, Top Secret, and also Welcome Home, Roxy Carmichael.
Okay.
So I got a couple that you didn't list on there. And the writer of this was Pat Proft, whose screenplay was, he wrote Brain Donors, High School High, Mr. Magoo.
Yeah.
And then the music for this one is done by Sylvester LeVay.
Okay.
He also did music for Howard the Duck.
Nice.
Cobra.
Okay.
And Boogie Nights.
Wow. Okay. So, that's fun.
You like that? I got even more detailed than what I normally do. I was like taking notes from you.
Hell yeah.
So.
And I'm still over here never doing the synopsis.
It depends. I mean, sometimes I will, sometimes I won't. This was produced by Bill Battalato.
Okay.
And 20th Century Fox.
Okay.
It had a budget of $26 million. You think it flopped?
No.
No, it made a whopping $181 million.
Damn.
Yeah. IMDb gave this 6.7 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes gave it 82% with a 65% audience rating. Letterboxd gave it 3.2 out of 5. I gave this one a solid 7 out of 10.
Probably give it an 8 out of 10 slates. I saw this, also saw this original theatrical run.
Nice.
Yeah. When I was like, 11?
Yeah.
It was same year as Naked Gun.
Right.
2.5. So.
I do have some fun facts.
Okay.
The aircraft carrier, which I didn't know about this one either. The aircraft carrier on which the movie takes place is actually just a wooden deck built on a cliff.
Okay.
On the edge of a cliff at a deserted Marineland facility. And so I was kind of disappointed when I seen that. I was like, I thought they were actually on an aircraft carrier. Because I think on Top Gun, they were on an aircraft carrier. And so, yeah, the film was shot, at an angle that made it look like the deck of the ship at sea.
Okay.
And everything. So I guess the sea was just CGI. I guess.
Okay.
I don't know. But, yeah, I was a little disappointed on that one. But, hey, all right.
CGI back then was like... green screen.
Right. Valeria Golino claims the scene in which she catches an olive popped out of her belly button. Belly button. That was actually not trick photography. She actually did that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Isn't she a belly dancer?
I think so.
Yeah.
So I thought that was interesting. Chosen for the UK's 1991 Royal Film Performance, this movie was, and it was also attended by Queen Elizabeth II. So,
all these movies just kind of connect.
Right. Charlie Sheen remarks before a particularly energetic fight sequence. He quoted, "I learned this one from Paula Abdul," in the movie. Paula Abdul was married to Charlie Sheen's brother, Emilio, at the time.
Really?
Yep.
I never knew that.
Yeah. So he was basically just referencing his sister-in-law.
Okay.
And Topper Harley's name comes from Harley Davidson's 1960s motor scooter, the Harley Topper.
Okay.
So that's all I got on that one.
All right.
So, yeah. Interesting fun facts.
Yep.
So... And I am ready for Hot Shots Part 2.
Deux.
On October 17th, the brave Americans who came here to free our hostages hostages. Now,
The President of the United States.
the president has nowhere to turn except to the one man
Could be Tupper Harley.
who has the courage and the guts to get the job done. 20th Century Fox presents Hot Shots, Part 2. Last time,
There he is!
he did it out of patriotism. This time, it's gonna be personal.
Of all the missions, you had to come walking into this one.
It's a sequel. I had to come.
Charlie Sheen as Topper Harley. He's a man torn between the woman who wants him
I'm putty in your hands.
In my hands, nothing turns to putty.
and the woman who left him.
Do you have any idea what would happen if you stay here with me?
Sex. I would pleasure you at any time in any place for as long as you could possibly desire.
Lloyd Bridges as the President of the United States.
I don't remember reading that.
Valeria Golino as Ramada.
Kiss me like you've never kissed me before.
Richard Crenna as Colonel Walters.
Now that's a hell of a gun.
And Saddam Hussein as you've never seen him before. Hot Shots, Part 2, directed by Jim Abrams.
Keeps going and going and going.
Yes. War. It's fantastic.
So it is Jim Abrams, not Abrahams.
It is Abrams. I thought it was Abrams.
Yeah.
So, Hot Shots Part 2 is a Rambo parody.
Yes, it is.
In which Topper Harley leads a rescue team into Iraq to save Iraqi war prisoners and all of their previous rescue teams as well.
Yep. And I'm pretty sure that I saw this in its original run as well.
Yeah, I think I'd seen this one in theaters. I remember the chicken, like on the big screen.
Yep.
Yeah. So this one stars Charlie Sheen, Valeria Golino, and Lloyd Bridges.
And not Saddam Hussein.
No.
Sorry to disappoint you.
No, they did that on the trailer, and it was not. It was somebody playing Saddam Hussein.
Yeah.
So this one was released May 21st, 1993, and it was directed by Jim Abrams, written by Pat Proft. We don't need to go into any of those because we already discussed it many times. The music on this one was done by Basil Poldoris.
Okay.
He's done music for RoboCop,
Nice.
Conan the Barbarian, The Hunt for Red October,
Okay.
and The Blue Lagoon.
Okay.
So, and this was also produced by Bill Padalato,
Okay.
and 20th Century Fox. Had a budget of $25 million. Think it flopped?
No.
No, it did not. It made 133 million.
Nice.
Sorry. And IMDb gave this 6.6 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes gave it 59% with a 63% audience rating. Letterboxd gave it 3.2 out of 5. I gave this one again 7 out of 10.
It's been a while since I've seen it, but I'll give it maybe 6.5.
Yeah. It's just one of those movies. It's so stupid. It's funny, so I don't usually rate those very highly, they're watchable. So, 7 out of 10, I think is fair for all those.
It's back when they could actually make a funny parody movie.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I wish they would get over that and make some more.
I don't know. Something happened around 2001 and they assumed that just stupidity was going to be funny.
Right.
I mean, there's a fine balance between funny and stupid, and they've gone full out stupid with movies.
No matter what, even in the past, any movie will offend somebody.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just gotten out of hand to where everybody's offensive, on something.
Yeah.
And everything. So it's a real shame and everything, because I mean, we have listeners in LA, so Zucker Brothers, if you guys are listening, I have a idea for Hot Shots Part 2. And they can go back to Top Gun and do a parody of Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah.
That recently came out, and have Harley, Topper Harley coming back to the Naval Academy and all that. So
I don't see them getting Charlie Sheen on board though.
No, I don't see that either. But it would
maybe
it would
John Cryer.
It'd be interesting though.
Yeah.
So, and of course, we lost Lloyd Bridges, but I mean, he can have his picture on the wall like Val Kilmer did in Maverick and all that.
Right.
That would have been kind of cool. So yeah, just an interesting idea for a third Hot Shots.
Sure.
Out there, I think it's time.
Yeah.
I think the world
31 years. Yeah, it's time.
I think the world needs another parody movie.
Yeah, I agree. A good one. I think the last good parody movie was probably Not Another Teen Movie.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
And so I do have some fun facts. Not very many, but I have some fun facts on this one.
Okay.
Richard Crenna asked Sylvester Stallone how he would feel if Crenna took a part in the spoof of the Rambo films, and Stallone was all for it. Of course, Richard Crenna is in all the Rambos.
Yeah.
And everything.
Yeah, he plays the captain?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he basically just wanted to get Stallone's approval, and he was all for it. Charlie Sheen worked out for 8 hours a day to build up his body, as he decided that he would have felt embarrassed at the film's premiere if he had to sit amongst people laughing while looking at him on screen in a singlet. So yeah, I guess, yeah. Valeria Galino cited the film was the best experience of her career.
Oh, okay.
So, she
not
enjoyed
Big
it.
Top Pee Wee?
Right. In the restaurant flashback, while they are spoofing Lady and the Tramp from 1955, the restaurant scene from The Godfather in 1972 is going on in the background, and director Jim Abrams would later direct the Godfather spoof Mafia, and from 1998.
Yeah.
So that was interesting.
It was called Mafia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, which also starred Lloyd Bridges in there too. And then the interior of Saddam's palace is actually the set of Tony Montana's palace from Scarface.
Okay.
So I thought that was cool.
Tony Montana.
Yeah. Say hello to my little Frank.
I've seen that once.
Have you really?
And it was on regular television, so I haven't really seen it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because everything was cut out.
It's a good one. I recommend it. So I still need to see The Godfathers.
I've never seen them either.
Yeah.
Surprise, surprise.
Right. We should do, maybe that should be a franchise that we should get into. That way both of us can actually see
the
it.
movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're just so long.
I have them. I have all three of them.
I do too.
Yeah.
I just never watched them.
Right.
So, yeah.
And they are long, but considering the movies that they release these days, it's not really that bad.
No, it's not that bad. So yeah, there's an idea later on down the road.
Yeah.
So I'm sure we'll have some excited listeners out there, because I think I've been hounded a few times. Why haven't you done Godfather yet? Well, because I haven't seen it. That's why. Do
we have a way for listeners to contact us?
We do. They just never do.
Okay.
One listener has
shout it out.
Yeah, shout it out to us, and that's it. And we did his movies that he requested a shout out to Sam Vargas.
Well, let our listeners know how they can contact us.
That you can contact us through our Facebook page, Drive-In Review. You can comment on Spotify, I believe, as well, and leave
and YouTube.
Yeah, and YouTube. I mean, just type in drive-in.review on YouTube, and just drive-in review for Facebook.
Yeah.
All no spaces, nothing. Just
it's not the drive-in review. It's drive-in review.
Yeah, it's just
drive-in. And
drive-in.
then drive-in.review on YouTube.
Yep. So just
let
contact
us
know. Facebook is a really good idea to see what's our upcoming films and everything that we're about to do, and just get your opinions on them. You know.
So what are we going to do in the coming weeks?
So in the coming weeks, you know, we're coming up on October. So I wanted to do the horror, you know, trying to keep that tradition going. And since we started that last year.
Yeah.
And it's a long list. So we're going to get started early.
Yeah.
So next week, we're going to start with Beetlejuice and the sequel, Beetlejuice. Haven't figured out what we're going to do with it yet. So.
What are we going to couple it with?
Yeah, so we'll figure that out, and that'll be a surprise for y'all. And then we're also going to do. Should we go on?
Yeah,
just
go ahead.
tell them the whole list.
Yeah.
The Child's Play franchise, and the Scream franchise of what they have so far. And also, we're going to do a first time three-part episodes of Freddy versus Jason. So we're going to do the whole entire Nightmare on Elm Street.
And Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th, yep. So that's
all 20 movies.
All 20 of them. 3-part episodes. So not all done in one episode. Like, we learned a lesson on that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But that's what we got coming up, and I hope you guys tune in and enjoy.
Yep.
So that's a wrap.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Oh. Sorry, Will. Didn't mean to do that.
Yeah.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Delicious things to eat.
The popcorn can't be beat. The sparkling drinks are just dandy. The chocolate bars and the candy. So let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
You've reached your limit on talking. Shut the fuck up.